You can drive me to your heart.
Meizu is a relatively new brand in Pakistan, and this is their flagship phone, the Meizu Pro 7. If you have seen my previous videos, you will know that I don't really talk about the front camera. The thing is, in most phones, the back camera is the primary shooter, and the front camera usually doesn't have as many features as the back camera. So if you want to take the best photo that your phone can possibly take, then you can't really rely on the front camera. This is where this phone comes in. They included a small display that acts as a viewfinder on the back. This way you are getting the best possible selfie from your phone. I really like this feature. It made me want to take more photos of myself, which is very surprising. So if you are into selfies, you should check this phone out. That was the main highlight of the phone for me. But how is everything else? The phone feels really solid. It's very compact and it's a very seamless unibody. The edges are chamfered as well, so it feels really premium. Because of the size, it's really easy to hold the phone in one hand. But one thing that I don't really like is the location of the fingerprint sensor. In most phones, you just put your finger on the fingerprint sensor and it unlocks right away. But in this phone, you first have to press the button to turn the screen on, and then the fingerprint sensor will read your fingerprint. It's really awkward. My other big complaint is that there are really thick bezels on the front. So to me the design looks a bit outdated. But on the plus side, there is USB Type-C and fast charging available in this phone. I do really like the build quality of this phone. It's very premium, so overall it gets plus point in the build quality. I already mentioned that there are two displays on the phone. The one on the front is a 5.2 inches 1080p AMOLED display, and you guys know I prefer AMOLED over LCD. Even though the display is a bit smaller than what I would ideally use, it is extremely high quality. It's really concentrated, and because it's AMOLED, the colors are more punchy and more saturated than usual. The front panel is as close to perfect as you can get in terms of displays. Now let's talk about the back display. It's a 2 inches AMOLED panel. To be honest, I thought this was more of a gimmick, but now after using the phone for a couple of weeks, I have to say I really like the back panel. It has many useful features. You can put a quick note, see the time, and see how many steps you've taken. See the weather, and most importantly, you can use it to take selfies from the back camera. This is my favorite feature in the phone. But my only complaint with the back display is that it's not always on. I wish they would include the option of having it always on. If I have to tap the screen to turn it on, then why won't I just turn the phone over and turn on the bigger display? So overall I love the front display, and the back display is a really nifty feature that I really enjoyed using. Overall the displays on this phone are fantastic. The performance on this phone is really good. There's not much lag and not many jitters. Games run well, all my apps run really smoothly. There's 4GB of RAM and 64GB of storage, so no issue there. But the thing that I did have issues with was the skin on the phone. It's called Flyme OS, and for the most part it's good, but there are some nitpicks that I have with it. Like there's no app drawer in the stock launcher, and the memory killer is too damn aggressive. I missed a lot of notifications because it completely turned off the apps I was using in the background. Another thing that is a slight issue is that the phone is still on Android Nougat, even though it has been many months since Android Audio has come out. So overall the performance is good, but the issues I mentioned could use a lot of improvement. The camera in this phone is really freaking awesome. There's a 12 megapixel dual camera setup on the back and a 16 megapixel front camera. The front camera is pretty okay, but because you can use the back camera to take selfies, the front camera becomes pretty much obsolete. Every time I wanted to take a selfie, I would just use the back camera, since the back camera takes much better photos. The photos from the back camera are really good. They are clear, highly saturated, and to be honest they look pretty darn awesome. It's just a really solid camera. And there are some add-ons like the bokeh mode, and to be honest the bokeh mode is not very good. There's also HDR which works well, and beauty mode. Even though the bokeh mode isn't that good, I still really like the camera of this phone. The battery life on this phone is pretty decent. It's a 3000 mAh battery which lasts slightly more than 1 day, and there's fast charging on the phone, so the battery life isn't much of a problem. The thing that I really like about this phone is that it feels really premium. The camera is really good and you can use the back camera to take selfies. But would I buy this phone? I have to say a soft yes. My complaints are that it's a bit expensive at 43,000 rupees and the design looks outdated. In the end, I think the phone has a very specific audience. For example, if you are into taking lots of selfies and you want them to look good, then I can't recommend this phone enough.